I is equal 3/4 cosine 1/2 t. Again, first we are going to find current peak. I peak is equal 3/4 amp, because this is current we measure in amps. Next, please notice that omega is equal 1/2. We said that the period is equal 2 pi over omega. This is going to be equal, because I'm going to have fraction in the denominator, I'm going to rewrite this expression in terms of fractions. That's why I'm going to have 2 pi over 1. Fraction bar I'm going to change to the division and divide by omega, which is 1/2. Remember, anytime we multiply fractions, we have to copy down the first fraction and division change to the multiplication, and we have to find the reciprocal of the second fraction, which is 2 over 1. That's why I'm going to get 2 pi times 2 is 4 pi over 1, which is equal 4 pi second. Again, this time we're looking for time. This is not the angle. Even when you see pi, this is not the angle. This is the time. My period is equal 4 pi. Let's draw it. My y-axis represents the current. Current is measured in amps. My x-axis represents the time measured in seconds. Peak current is 3/4. So let's say this is 1 amp, divide this into 4 pieces, and 3/4 is over here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is -1, and this is my 3/4. This is my 0. Next, we know that the period is 4 pi. So let's say this is my pi, this is 2 pi, this is 3 pi, this is my 4 pi. This is going to be my 5, 6, 7, 8 pi. Now, please notice that this is, of course, 3/4, and this is -3/4. First, we have to find the points which are going to help me to draw this waveform. Negative peak I'm going to have at this point. My positive peak is going to be at this point. Again, my negative peak is going to be here, and the positive peak again is going to be here. Next, I have to connect all these points together. This is one cycle, and this is going to be my second cycle. This is my wave. The peak current is 3/4. Negative peak is -3/4. One cycle is 4 pi, and I drew 2 cycles, so this is the solution to my problem. Let's take a look at the second example. My voltage peak is equal -2/3 volt. Next, I have to find the period. Period is equal 2 pi over omega, which is equal 2 pi over 2,500. Of course, radians per second is equal, if you are going to enter this into the calculator, 2 times pi over 2,500, you will get 2.51 milli seconds. This is the period of my waveform. Now I can draw the waveform. I have my y-axis and I have x-axis. Y-axis represents volts. Voltage is measured in volts. Time is measured in milliseconds because my period is in milliseconds. My voltage peak is minus 2/3. I have to find where is my 2/3. So let's say this is my 1 and this is my minus 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. Over here I'm going to have 2/3 and over here I'm going to have negative 2/3. I'm going to draw the dashed line in order to make my wave looking symmetrical. Next, you're supposed to choose any point on your x-axis and label this by 2.51 milliseconds. I'm going to say this is my 2.51 and this is going to be my 5.02 and this one I can make 7.53. This is one period, one cycle. This is going to be my second cycle, and this is going to be my third cycle. Now, because my voltage peak is negative, I'm going to start drawing my waves from the negative voltage peak. This is going to be half of my cycle, and this is going to be 1/4 of my cycle, so I'm going to have something like this. It's going to be my negative peak value over here, positive peak over here. That's why my wave is going to go like this. This is one cycle. Next, half of my cycle is going to be somewhere over here. This is 1/4, and this is 3/4, and this is going to be my negative peak, and this is going to be my positive peak. Connect these points. This is my second cycle, and I can draw the third one also, just to make something looking different. So this is going to be my negative half a cycle, and this is my positive half a cycle. Now, my peak voltage is 2/3 and negative 2/3. This is basically what I had in my equation. I found the period, that the period is 2.51 milliseconds. This is 2.51 milliseconds. Remember, x-axis is calibrated in milliseconds. And I found more than 2 cycles, so this is the solution to my problem.